how would you advise someone to make a decision between or balance? I think making a decision between these two topics, it's a fallacy that you have to pick. You can do both, but how would you balance focusing on changing the game to make it more fair, which is a lot of it is happening nowadays, versus, hey, this is the game and you have to play it. Like I'll give you an example. I was having a conversation with a friend, and I shared with her some research that's out there that I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something like efficient women, capable women are usually seen as bossy and disliked. And that is a fact. I
Yes.
told her, you have to know you are that type of woman. You are a leader. So you have to know that as you navigate life, a lot of people are not going to like you just because this bias is out there. So you have to already know that when you're going into a room, that's going to happen. So do you decide to get things done or do you want to be liked? Right. And for example, I know maybe when I mention my name, maybe when people see their background, oh, he has an accent. Oh, he's an immigrant. I know there's going to be some biases there and I can complain all day about it, or I can just like focus on doing my best and focusing on what I can control. A lot of the things is deciding on the circles you're going to be at, right? Like don't be at circles that are always judging people on superficial things, right? Like go to circles and areas where people take a more time to get to know others and try to. Sometimes we can't; it happens automatically, but to try to eliminate that quick judgment and that quick thinking and being open. So when you're working with women and there's all this going on out there. How do you help them navigate that balance between, yes, be an advocate for change and to make things fair, but also, hey, just be really good at the game and beat everybody else, and that's how you demonstrate that you're better.
I love this question so much. I'll tell you first a setup for the answer. So Harvard Business Review did a study many years ago where they asked people, would you rather work with someone who is competent or likable? And when I read that, I thought for sure, oh, it's going to be competent, right? Everybody wants to work with someone who's competent. No, it was likable. And I thought, oh my gosh. It went on to say people who are able to do both, people who are competent and likable, are lovable stars. And this is what I tell the women that I work for. I talk about this a lot from the stage. I want women to move into the place where they're a lovable star. And we do that through connection. We do that through conversation. So let's talk about the likable piece first. We do that through connection, through conversation, through keeping our word, through remembering small things that keep us connected to people. The competent side is where our strength is. So part of that is speaking with confidence. And I see so many women try to navigate that sticky situation that you've described by not coming in strong. So for example, if I'm in a meeting and there's 5 people in the room and there's a senior man in the room and my boss is in the room and a couple of colleagues, and they're asking for people's opinions. If a strong woman in the room has an opinion, sometimes she'll state it in such a way that makes it sound like, well, I have all the answers, right? Like they're coming right in super strong. And that's where you get that rub where people have a hard time hearing what she's sharing. Most of the time, what I see women do is try to soften their message so that they can maintain that likability. And they'll say things like, well, this might not be the right idea, but I was thinking that maybe if we try X. They don't know how to come into the conversation, maintaining likability and showing up as a strong, confident woman. So one of the ways that I recommend they do that is by coming in with hip pocket phrases that they already have ready. So you can say something like, I see it differently. Here's what I'm thinking, and share your idea. The beauty of that statement is it doesn't mean that somebody in the room is wrong and you're right, or you're not saying, I have a better idea. You're opening up for conversation and collaboration. Really focusing on how are you going to add to the conversation in a way that opens up the conversation for collaboration, sets you up as a subject matter expert, you have an opinion, and you're maintaining that likability is super important for women, especially women in corporate or women who are really serving in that role as CEO of her business.
That's such a great point. Having those key phrases that help frame the situation. It reminds me of in improv comedy, it's difficult, right? You have to make it up on the go. You have no idea what's going on. And I've noticed I picked it up first to practice English. I hated the silly component of it, and now I love it. But I've noticed, for example, that the super experienced people, they have object work, kind of like go-to object work that they use in when you're experienced, you know that they don't really know what they're gonna say, but that just makes space for them to think a little bit before actually making that next move. So I think that's a great